I do apologize. I'm getting over the flu. So I still have that lingering cough with me. So that's probably going to get annoying by the end of class, but I'm trying to drink some hot liquid here to keep my throat, nice and happy. So anyway, guys, welcome to your Math 1340 class. I think this is the first time that it's ever happened in my teaching career. That first day of class, we're not meeting on campus and, we're having to do remote. I mean, of course, COVID was different, but, we're kind of past COVID at this point. So it's really weird. Our first day is not happening on campus. I'm hoping on Thursday we'll be back, but, obviously let's see how the weather here works out. But at least we have a safer option and, we don't have to be out on the roads. My friend was out earlier this morning and she said the roads were pretty scary. So I'm glad that, we're able to do this. So of course, as you can see, my name is Meha Daruka. I'll be your instructor for this course. Just a little background on myself, guys. I grew up in India. I did all my schooling and first 2 years of college in India, and then I transferred here. I was in Ohio for my undergrad, and then I did two different master's programs in West Virginia, and one of those masters was in mathematics. I've been teaching since I basically got out of grad school. I was in Kentucky for 10 years at Hopkinsville Community College. And then 2018 is when I moved to Colorado, and I've been with Ames since then. My office is actually in Fort Lupton on the second floor. I'm going to be on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays this semester. So if you guys are, around before or after class and you need to see me, you can find me in my office or probably, somewhere around the front desk area. I don't have any official office hours, but, you can stay back after class if you need help, or we can set up a time which may be more convenient, if you need to meet with me and stuff. The rest of the week, I will be working remotely. So if you need to meet me outside of Tuesday or Thursday, then we can set up a Zoom appointment and we can meet on Zoom. So what I'd like to do is, before we get into our course, is if you can tell me a little bit about yourself. Sorry. Just tell me, like introduce yourself to me and your classmates. Obviously start with your name. If you have something different than your given name that you would like to be called, let me know. And tell us, when was the last time you had a math class, and what are you hoping to do, after you graduate from Ames? And any fun fact you would like to share about yourself. So, introduce yourself. When was the last math class you had? What was it? What do you want to do after you graduate from Ames? And any fun fact you would like to share with me and your classmates. I'll try to call out your name, but if I mispronounce it, I really apologize. And I'll just call you guys out as I'm seeing you on my screen, okay? So we'll start with Kelsey.
Hi. My last math class was last semester. It was this one, but with a different teacher. And I have no idea what I want to do after.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Okay, Isaac. Luhan.
Hello, my name's Isaac. I'm 21. This will be my first math class since the last 3 years. I graduated in 2020 from Frederick High School. End goal, some sort of engineer would be super awesome. And yeah.
All right, awesome. Which means, Isaac, you have a pretty long journey ahead of you with math courses if you're going for engineering, especially the calculus sequence. All right, wonderful. So is it Maggie, or am I completely mispronouncing it?
It's Meji.
Meji, okay, thank you.
My name is Meji Campbell. I'm 18. The The last math class I had was last year. It's like the second semester of my senior year. I graduated pretty recently. And I want to do something in the paleontology field.
Oh, wonderful. That sounds really interesting. Thank you. David?
Hello, my name is David, and this is my second year at Ames. The last time I took in a math class here was last semester, and I'm not sure what I want to do after Ames.
Alrighty, no problem. Thank you so much. Okay, is it, and I'm really gonna mispronounce this, I'm so sorry. Is it Misael Murillo?
Misael, but you could call me Mies. That works too. My last math class was last semester as well. After Ames, I'm hoping to transfer to University of Washington Tacoma, and then from there, I want to open a business.
Wonderful. Do you know what kind of business you want to open?
I want to start off with a food truck and then hopefully get into like a restaurant if possible.
Oh, wonderful. Very nice. Cool. Thank you. And let's see, Santana?
Hi, my name is Santana. The last time I took a math class was in 2022 for my senior year of high school. And I'm trying to get into the cybersecurity field and computer science.
Yeah, Santana, for some reason, we're only seeing your hat. We can't really see you. Awesome. Thank you.
11.
Hey, Angel, go ahead.
My name is Angel. My last math class was last semester as well. And what I plan to do after graduating Ames is I guess transfer to UNC in Greeley to study like becoming a teacher.
Alrighty, wonderful. Have you explored the Ames to UNC program?
No, not yet, but
Okay.
I probably will do that when it comes to it.
Okay, all right, wonderful, very good. Hey, Danielle, you seem to be in your car.
Yeah, I'm out here. Well, I was driving, but I was in a meeting.
Okay, as long as you're pulled over and safe there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, buddy. You want to tell us about yourself, Daniel?
Oh, my bad. Hi, my name is Daniel. This is my second semester at Ames. Well, like there's math classes because I want to be an architect. I'm taking classes at CU Denver also, but I'm also at a real estate agent. So that's one of the things that they keep me busy. And then what else was it? Just anything?
Any fun fact you'd like to share with us?
I like cars.
All right, wonderful. So it seems like you're going to have a busy semester being at two different schools and working.
Yeah.
All righty. All right, let's see. Is that Isaiah or am I mispronouncing your name?
Yeah, it's Isaiah. Yeah, my name's Isaiah Mason. My last time I've taken a math class was my senior year of high school, which was 2023 when I graduated. And after Ames, I hope to do something in pharmacy, mostly pharmacy manufacturing. And one fun fact about myself, I'm not sure. I like dogs.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much, Isaiah. Hey, Katie.
Hi, my name is Catherine. I like to go by Kathy. The last math class I took was last semester, and after Ames, I want to become a zoologist and work with animals.
All righty, wonderful. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All righty. So, like I said, we have about 10 of you here. We're missing 6 of your classmates. I haven't heard anything from them, so I'm not sure if they were just not able to access the internet or what's going on. But let's go ahead and get into our D2L course shell here, guys. So it seems like most of you have been at Ames for a little while, so hopefully you're familiar with our D2L program. So this is your course shell for this class. You will see on the front page, we always do our announcement. So we had made this announcement for today's class. And then just a general, welcome announcement and just kind of letting you know what you needed to do just as you were getting started. If you haven't had a chance to explore the course shell, I'd definitely recommend you guys to do that. Most of your assignments, course information, you're going to find under the content tab. So if we click on content here, let me put this in student mode so it looks more familiar. So I would recommend you guys to start out by going to the course information module. Again, you will see all of this information here. So just again, basic information of where to get started. If you have not accepted the remind.com invitation, I would definitely ask you guys to do this. Basically, what this allows me to do is send you reminders. So if you click on that link, it will take you to this page. And if you just click on that link for remind, it's probably going to take me under the teacher mode right now, but you can see I've got Isaac and Meji already in here. So it lets me send you reminders, for assignments that may be coming up, exams that we'll be getting ready to take. I do not get to see any of your information if you're using your email to receive these reminders, if you're using your cell phone. I do not get to see any of that information, but this is a quick way for me to send reminders out to you guys. So if you have not accepted that invitation, I'd go ahead and ask you to go ahead and click on that link. Accept it, because I'm not sending email reminders out. I will do an announcement in D2L, but all the reminders will be coming through this app. It's also an app if you want to download it, but if you don't download the app, that's okay. You'll just receive the reminder as a text message. Or as I said, you can also sign up your email if you wanted to do that. So again, like I said, most of you are probably familiar. D2L also has an email provision. So what happens is you receive emails in your ames.edu email address, which is, based out of our Google program. And then D2L has its own email. So you have to keep checking both emails, or you can do forwarding. So you can forward your email from D2L and it'll go directly to your ames.edu email address. So that way you don't have to keep checking emails in both places. And that's what I have done, because my first semester at Ames, I kept forgetting that D2L had email, and I'd keep missing student emails because I didn't know that, they were not connected. So it's really simple process. You go under your name. I don't know if it will let me do that if I'm in student setting right now, but you go under account settings, go to the third tab, which says email, and then you can forward, and you can see, you can check whichever boxes you want, and you can see I forwarded my email to my ames.edu address. So it's really as simple as that. And then if you guys are interested in, getting tutoring on campus, you can do tutoring in person or online. And this is just a PDF file that walks you through how you can book your appointment. So that's some information there. Underneath that, you will see there's instructor information, is just a short bio about myself, my contact information and that kind of thing. the Zoom link for office hours. So as I said, if I'm not on campus and you wanted to meet with me, we can do that through the Zoom office hours. Just let me know. We'll find a time to meet and we can set that up. And this is the same Zoom link that you guys used today to get on the classroom. I've included the course syllabus as a PDF file. So if you wanted to download it, you can do that. Or it's also as a web page. So those are the two links where you'll find your course syllabus. The universal syllabus is just a basic template. So it shows you, where we got all of our information from. Underneath that, you will see we have the course schedule. Now, obviously, I haven't broken this down by, class, what we're going to be doing each day. This is more based on, what we're going to be doing each week, as you can see here. So this is what our tentative schedule is. Now, of course, how fast we go, what pace we maintain, what other events happen that might be out of our control. The schedule might change, but this at least kind of gives you an idea of what to expect each week. And then underneath that, you will see I've included the dates for our exams. So basically, it comes down to 2 exams each month, with the exception of January and May. Of course, we're just starting out right now, so no exams this month, and just the final exam in May. Underneath that, you will see, again, there are some helpful links for you guys as resources. So if you needed to get in touch with IT, if you're having, trouble connecting online on campus or whatever, links to tutoring, library, writing lab, which wouldn't be helpful for our class, but of course, if you're taking a writing intensive course, that'll come in handy. We've got advising and academic policies. Underneath that, I've included resources if you need to be working in Excel or Google Sheets. We'll be working on one class assignment where we'll be using Google Sheets. But for the rest of the semester, it's up to you if you want to use Excel or Google Sheets or not. Most of our work is actually going to be done in my math lab and not so much outside of it. But I just like to include those resources, if that's something that might help you. So all of this information, guys, is available under the course information module. Underneath that, you will find my math lab. So this is the program that we are using to do our homework, exams, final exam, chapter exams, all sort of those things. So you can go to the course home if you wanted directly, that's fine. You also have access to the e-textbook. So that's why we don't make you purchase like a hard copy, since this is available to you for free through this program. So if you directly want to go to your textbook, and the first time you access your textbook, you do need to come through this link. Otherwise, the textbook will not open for you. So just go under My Math Lab, click on this link, and it will take you to your textbook. So just click on Open a New Window. And it kind of, authenticates that you have access to the program and all of that thing. And then it'll take you to your textbook pages. All right, let's give it a second till it's doing its thing. If you click on all assignments, it will show you everything, your homework, quizzes, exams, everything. If you click on homework, it's only going to show you the homework, none of the exams. If you click on quizzes and tests, it's only going to show you quizzes and tests. It will not show you the homework. So I kind of by default always ask you guys to go to all assignments. So that way, you're not having to go back and forth between finding the homework and the exams. So you will see this is by default, it's taking you to that first chapter, which is chapter P. You guys do have homework assignments from chapter P you'll be working on. You can click on the menu option, and of course you will see all the chapters listed here, if it will let me scroll down. There you go, and you will see all the remaining chapters here. Okay, so that's your e-textbook, and again, you can explore that on your own time. To show you the all assignments link, when you click on that, like I said, it shows you the entire list of assignments. I've included an orientation homework in case you've not worked in MyMathLab before. This just kind of helps you out on, how to put answers in and how to use the different tools that are available to you and all that. So you will see how this is set up. You have your practice homework, and then you have the actual homework. Same thing, practice homework, and then the actual homework. Then you've got a practice exam, and again, that does not count for a grade. The exams will show up on the day of the exam, guys, so you will not see them listed right now. But like February 1st is our first exam, so that day you will see the exam open up on MyMathLab. Now, just to let you know, the practice homework also does not count for a grade. This is just if it's been a long time since you've done math, some of your basic skills are, you're unsure about them and you just need extra practice. That's what those practice homeworks are for. So just remember, anything that says practice does not count for a grade. So practice homework, practice exam, none of those things will count for a grade. But P2, P3, P5 homework, that is graded. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 from chapter 1, all of those homeworks are graded. So it's just the practice that's not for a grade. And that's kind of the same setup for the other chapters also. And I have opened up all of the homework, guys. So work at your own pace, just don't fall behind. And you'll see there's a couple practice final exams there at the bottom also to help you guys out. So all of this is if you go under that all assignments link, okay? All right, let's come back here. Just want to show you some other links that are available under MyMathLab. So if you want to check your grade book to see how your progress in MyMathLab is, that's what you want to go from here. Now, even though the grade book in D2L communicates with the grade book in MyMathLab, they are set up very differently. So if you want to get a good sense of what your grade is in class, like today, grade book in MyMathLab is where you want to go. Because what the D2L grade book does is it counts everything as zeros. So even assignments that you have not done yet, it counts them at zero. So for the most of the semester, the D2L grade book shows as though you're failing the course because, it's counting everything as zeros as you're working on it. So if you want to get a better sense of your grade, go to the MyMathLab grade book. You have multimedia library, so they have, animations, PowerPoint slides, videos, and all other kinds of helpful resources to help you out. So you can do that under multimedia library. If for any reason the e-textbook, is taking too long to load, you can go to the HTML version because this one does not have as many, bytes to, upload. So this one opens up a lot easier. So again, if the e-text is not working out too well, you can always go to the HTML ebook, okay? And then the last link here, guys, is study plan. If you wanted to get extra practice, but you don't want to, mess up your homework grade, you can go to study plan because this is not going to affect your grade, but you get to do extra practice, with homework problems that are similar to what's in your homework. So just go to all chapters once you get into the study plan. Find the chapter you need extra practice with. So let's say you're working on section 1, section 5, chapter 1, section 5, and then, just pick the problem that you want to do extra practice on. And, that way, like I said, it won't affect your grade, but you get that extra practice. So all of this is under the study plan option. So just a quick overview, and then we'll come back and I'll just show you how to navigate around MyMathLab, but I wanted to show you all of these links. So remember, this is under the MyMathLab option. All right, let's take a look at a problem from section 1.1, just so I can show you. I don't know, let's do number 10. So when you go into a homework problem, you will see right at the top, it actually tells you what the problem number is. So this is chapter 1, section 1, problem number 37. So that's how you can identify these problems when you go into the study plan. because you can say, oh, 137 was the problem I got stuck on. That's the one I need extra practice on. Go and find that in the study plan. So when you click on the answer box, let's say we want to type in our solution set. When you click on the answer box, guys, you will see there's a little toolbar that appears at the bottom. So if you wanted to type a fraction, you can do that. If you wanted to type something with an exponent, you can do that. You know, if you're putting in like a square root or something higher, if we have to do ordered pairs, and you can see there's a whole bunch of options available in there. So depending on how you have to type your answer, you will have those different tools show up as you go forward. And then, you know, of course, we'll be having some graphing questions also. I don't know if there's anything in this section on graphing, but that'll show up, you know, if you have to do some graphing. The other thing I wanted to point out is look at all these help features you have at the bottom. So if you do help me solve this, it takes you step by step to solve the problem. Excuse me. But after you complete the help me solve this, it actually gives you a new version of the problem that you have to solve on your own. So help me solve this will walk you step by step, but it doesn't count for a grade. It will not save that grade for you. So you can do help me solve this, but you will need to come back and do the problem all over again with, you know, different numbers. You can also do view an example, and view an example, as it says, walks you same thing step by step, but instead of making you solve each step, it just shows you how to do it. So this is more of just looking through, reading, and, you know, following the instructions. So it kind of walks you through the steps. You can do, you know, just keep clicking on that continue button, and it shows you, okay, what they did at each step. And then once they have the answer, the solution, then you're ready to close it. So you have view an example. Under more help, you can go to the textbook page where, the textbook section where this problem comes from. So if you wanted to see an example in the textbook, you can go here. It gives you the option of an inbuilt calculator. So if you didn't have one handy, there's one built in over here. And then the last resort, guys, if none of these help and you're still stuck on the problem, you can do Ask My Instructor. And what this does, this is probably the slowest process of all, is because it actually sends me an email. So you can see my email address is already in there. It sends me the link to this specific question. And then you can put in your message like, hey, I tried solving this. You know, this is the steps I took, but it still didn't work out. I'm not sure where I'm going wrong, or, you know, whatever you want to put in. Put your message in there, and then I'll receive the link at my end. So that's going to be your Ask My Instructor. So, you know, some of these options are available now, depending on problem. Some of these may also have like a video link to it. If the publisher, you know, created a video for this problem, you may also see that. So some of these help features change depending on the problem, but most of these are the standard help features you see, and you'll see this in all. The other thing is, if you get the problem incorrect, and I'm just going to put a random answer in here for now. Let's say we just say 1. It actually gives you 3 tries. So it's saying, okay, your answer is incorrect, fix it. And you will see it gives you a whole description of maybe what you need to do. I'll do another check, and it says, okay, your answer was wrong. This is what the correct answer should be. Now, you can say similar question and bring up a new problem, and you can try all over again. So you don't have to take a 0 for that problem. You can go back, do a similar question, and, you know, get the problem right. So that way, you know, you're not getting a whole bunch of zeros on different problems. You still get to keep trying till you get the right answer. So that was kind of a basic overview. Click Save to exit out of it. And you will see that was the problem we were working on. And obviously, since I didn't complete it, it's counting that as being incorrect. You can go back and say resume, or you can go to review. You know, or move on to the next section if you're done with this one. So all of this was under My Math Lab, guys. There's some prerequisite videos. So, again, it's kind of one of those things if you needed to go and refresh some of the basic skills you needed to know how to do those. I've included some of those videos over here. So this is just for your help, as extra resources. And all of these videos were actually created by Professor Ray Brown, who works at the Greeley campus. So all of these will take you to his links, and he was very kind to share that with the department so we could use that as resources. Now you will see the rest of the modules are broken down by chapters, guys. So you will see there's one for each of the chapters we'll be doing this semester. There's nothing particular on chapter P because we're tying chapter P and chapter 1 together. So when you take the exam for chapter 1, you need to finish the homework on chapter P and the homework on chapter 1, but the exam will have questions only from chapter 1. It's not going to have questions from chapter P, but that still means you need to do the homework. The 3 sections from chapter P are still going to be required for you to finish, to be able to work on the chapter 1 homework. So you will see, guys, I've again included textbook links for the chapter P and chapter 1 here. And then these are handouts that I have created. And, we'll be using this once we get into our lecture. So you will see they've been saved as PDF files, and they just give you a little bit of a, show you some examples, give you some definitions and stuff. And then there are examples for us to solve. So these are the handouts that I would normally use in class. So, we'll do some examples from the handouts. We'll do some examples from MyMathLab. So you can kind of also see how the homework will look like, as you're working through them. So these are handouts that I have created, but they're based off of the textbook. So a lot of this information is coming from your textbook itself. So those are your handouts, and you'll see there's one for each section. So you've got your textbook links, and then you've got your handouts. Whenever I do lectures, kind of like what we're doing right now, I always record them and I post them here in D2L. So you will see these are all from last fall, all the different, and they go from semester to semester. So you'll find all of this. So basically the top part is where you find the textbook pages and the handouts, and the bottom of that is all the videos. So you will see I've included videos from several different semesters. And then at the very bottom of this module, you will find homework help. So anytime I have students ask me questions on a homework problem, and if I feel it's a long enough problem that I need to create a video instead of just typing out an instruction, I'll usually post them here. So it could be a video, it could be a PDF file, depending on if I worked out the problem and sent it back to the student. So you will see I've included some from chapter P, some from section 1, just as students ask me those questions. So that will be at the bottom of each module. So you have videos, and then underneath the videos is where the homework help comes from. And that's pretty much how all the chapter modules are set up. If you look at chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7, you'll see similarities in the way it's been set up. Any questions on the D2L course shell at this point, guys? And go explore on your own, because there might be some things that I haven't talked about, but you can go look at, and if something pops up and you're not sure what it's about, you can always ask me a question on it. So let's go take a look at our course syllabus here, guys. I'm just going to open up the PDF file here. But like I said, I've also included that as a web page if you wanted to take a look at it. And I'm just going to make this larger here. Alrighty. So just your course information, just some basic information about time expectation for the course. We meet in room 113, which is of course on the first floor of the Prairie building. That's what the PR stands for. Our class is 1 hour, 40 minutes long, because as you can see, this is a 4 credit hour course and we meet twice a week. So we have to make sure we're covering those 4 credit hours worth of time. So we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, guys. Of course, we're a full 16-week semester course. So my information again here, I do prefer to be called Ms. Daruka, or you can call me Professor, whatever you prefer. But you know, Ms. Daruka or Professor is what I would expect you to use. You have both my email addresses here. So this is the ames.edu, you know, which comes through our Gmail. This is the D2L based email address. And again, like I said, I forwarded both my emails to my ames.edu. So it doesn't matter which email address you use, I'm going to get both of them. As I was mentioning earlier, I'm going to be on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My office is going to be on the second floor of the Prairie building. My office phone number, as I was mentioning again earlier, office hours are by appointment, but I'm sure we could find a time that works for both of us. And then, you know, we could meet on campus or on Zoom. Just to let you know, your drop deadline for this course is going to be January 29th, and the withdrawal is April 3rd. You know, if it does get to a stage where you want to drop the course or withdraw, I hope you'd feel free to come to me and let me know what's going on. If we can find a solution, that'd be great. If not, you know, we can always look for other options. If you wanted to see other important dates and stuff, you can see the links here, what kind of access you have to student services, to mental health, wellness. So all of those are also included right there on the first page. Here are your course requirements. So of course, you can see how they do the prerequisite for this course. And of course, your academic advisor has gone through all of that with you. That's how you got placed into college algebra. So our textbook for college algebra is the 6th edition by Dugopolsky. We're kind of on the last leg of this edition here, guys, because I think the author is not intending to do a new edition on this. And so eventually this textbook is actually going to go out of print. So we might be one of the last semesters to use this textbook at this point. My math lab, of course, is required, even though the textbook is optional, because as I said, and we saw, all of your homework and exams are going to be there. You can use a scientific or a graphing calculator. You cannot use calculators on cell phones or tablets or any kind of smart device, especially on the day of the exam. So I would say, you know, make sure you have a handheld traditional scientific or graphing calculator, especially on the day you come to, you know, take the exam. Just your course description here, guys. As you can see, we are a college algebra course. So it's going to be a lot of, you know, based on equations, functions, graphing, you know, what you would expect from an algebra course. So we're going to be working on equations. We're going to be working on inequalities. We'll be talking about functions. When we say operations and functions, it's about adding two functions, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, you know, that kind of thing. Kathy, that would be fine, not a problem. We also talk about exponential and logarithmic functions, you know, linear functions, nonlinear, also as systems of equations. And then we'll be doing brief discussion on conic sections in chapter 7. So this is a STEM-based course, guys. So, you know, if you're going into engineering, I think one of you had mentioned architecture, then of course this is the course you want to take. If you are taking a non-STEM field, then a lot of times you will see they will recommend you to take maybe math for liberal arts or even statistics, even though statistics technically is a STEM course. A lot of programs will accept that for non-STEM programs. So, you know, I would imagine if you guys are taking a STEM course here, you are intending on going at least for a while in that direction. But just remember, if you are a non-STEM major, there are some other courses if you find that would be much better suited to you, which is a discussion you want to have with your academic advisor. This course basically prepares you to take calculus moving forward. That's kind of the idea behind this. So you guys can see our course learning outcomes here, and that's what we're going to be focusing on for this semester. We need to be able to get through these 14 learning outcomes over here, and then your recommended topical outline takes basically each one of these 14 outcomes and breaks it down what each of them is involved in. So you can kind of look through, what are the different things we're going to be talking about here. I mean, this is a pretty intensive course, guys, because, of course, for college algebra, and we're preparing you for a STEM field. So there's a lot of things that happen. So you can see that whole list here. We are also required to include the guaranteed transfer information here. So remember, in Colorado, if you go to any higher education institute, 2-year or 4-year institution, this course will transfer to those institutes. So I know you were going to UNC. Some of you said other institutions. I know we heard of CU Denver. So the idea is if you have a grade of C or higher, you will be able to transfer this course to another institution. Now, remember, guys, some programs may only accept A or B grades. So that would be something you would need to be aware of depending on what program you are in. But by the guaranteed transfer pathways, a higher education institute in Colorado will accept if you have a C or a higher score. And you can see some of those details here. Again, it kind of breaks it down for you. And then we have our Ames learning outcomes, course delivery method, and code of conduct. These would be some things, again, depending on the situation, you can go through. Basically, the course delivery method kind of talks about a day like today, right? We had bad weather, roads were bad, so we stayed home and took our class online. So it's kind of talking about that alternative, delivery methods for the course. Code of conduct would definitely be something that applies to you guys as students of Ames Community College. So you can see some of the basic information there, but I kind of want to start off with our attendance policy here and get into details specific to this course that you are taking. So since we are a face-to-face class and hopefully we'll get back to campus, Thursday, I do expect you guys to be in class every time the class meets or on Zoom if we need to because of, circumstances. So try to be on time, be prepared, don't come in late, don't leave early if that's, something you have in control, because you get attendance points for every time you meet. And you need to have a basic 90% attendance so that you can take your chapter exams. If your attendance falls below 90%, guys, that is starting from today till, whenever the exam day is, and that's how it continues for the rest of the semester. If your attendance falls below 90%, you will not be able to take your exams in class, which means you'll end up getting a 0 on those exams. So make sure you don't let your attendance fall. If for any reason you're going to be missing class, let me know what's going on. Let me know why you're missing class. Inform me ahead of time. If you're unable to come to campus, but you can attend through Zoom, that's okay with me. As long as you're attending, right? That's what's more important. As long as you're getting the information that is crucial to you. So if you're going to be absent, let me know, preferably ahead of time. Find out from a classmate what you missed. And as I mentioned before, I do record all my Zoom classroom sessions. So if you miss class, you should be able to go and watch the recording to, make up on what you missed. So 100% attendance is mandatory. If you are late to class or you have to leave early for some reason, then you're not going to get full points for attendance. You're only going to get partial points. So do keep that in mind. I do have some conditions if you're going to be attending on Zoom, and I was kind of talking about that a little bit earlier before I think all of you came here. Make sure I can see your face. And Santana, I'm recognizing that you have disappeared from my screen. So make sure I can see your face. You're not in a dark room. You're not pointing your camera to a wall or ceiling or, doors, windows, that kind of thing. Because, we are a face-to-face class and I need to be able to see you. Even if we were a remote class, I still need to be able to see you because, I look at your faces. Even right now, I've got you guys open on the side so that I can see your faces. If you're lost or not understanding something, I can ask you like, hey, did that not make sense? Can I, help you out? Can we go over another example? That kind of a thing. So if you do attend through Zoom, make sure you're following all of the Zoom classroom things. Don't be lying on your bed or falling asleep on me. During COVID, that happened a lot. But I mean, I know those circumstances were different. A lot of people were under stress. But, if you're paying for this class to be here, get the most out of it. So you can see all the Zoom classroom requirements here. I've included the link in the course syllabus also. Now, I usually try to reply back to emails within 24 hours, during business hours. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer. Weekends, sometimes I'll check my email, sometimes I will not. So I normally request you guys to try and get in touch with me during weekdays if possible. I know D2L has this built-in instant messaging system. I don't really use that, so try to email me. That's the best way to get in touch with me. Excuse me. Even on remind.com, a lot of times I, pre-program my messages, so I'm not really doing them in real time. I can go ahead and schedule the reminders I want to send you ahead of time. So a lot of times I'm not really checking remind.com either. So I would hate for you to send me a message through one of these instant services and I not get it. So email is the best option, guys, because that is something I check regularly, several times a day. And that's the best way to get in touch with me. All right, our grading for this course, you can see the breakdown. We've got homeworks, and if I do some other projects or assignments in class, all of those basically count as homework. So that'll be 30% of your grade. Your chapter exams come out to be 50%. And as you can see, your final exam is 20% of the grade. We have our regular grading system here, guys. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D. Technically, D is still considered a passing grade, but as I was saying earlier, a lot of programs and universities want a C or a higher grade, so the course may not transfer, but as far as Ames goes, D is still considered as passing, but it may not help you if you're trying to transfer it. And of course, anything below 60% would be considered a failing grade. This is the same course schedule that I showed you in D2L. So again, just your breakdown from week to week, what to expect. You will see that our comprehensive final exam is on Thursday, May 2nd. Even though our semester ends on May 7th, I've kept those last 2 days sort of like a buffer, if we needed to move our schedule a little. We still have those couple days, if we needed to move the final exam to Tuesday, May 7th instead of Thursday, May 2nd. So that's why that last sentence says, in case we need more time or a little bit of buffer time. So this is a very tentative schedule because, as I was saying earlier, what kind of pace we maintain and what kind of crazy weather days and stuff we get. I like having a little bit of that extra time in there. So as I was showing you earlier, you can see I have video lectures in D2L. Now, if you want to see a video lecture that's just me going over the notes and talking about the content, that's actually going to be from spring 2020 because, that's when we went into COVID time and we had to record video lectures. So that's not me talking to a class. Like, right now I'm talking to you. That is just me recording video lectures to go over the content. So if you want a traditional video lecture with no students in there, then that's going to be spring 2020 lectures, guys. The rest of them are me, going over examples and stuff with students. Already talked about MyMathLab as our program for doing all the work here. So you have homework on each section for each chapter. And again, guys, you do have a 90% homework grade requirement. So make sure you get 90% on each homework section. Otherwise, again, your chapter exam will not open up. And the reason I do this is because all of your exam questions come from your homework. So, if you only do 50% of your homework, that means you haven't seen half of the homework problems that could show up on the exam. And that's why I've put this 90% homework requirement on the grade, so that way at least you're seeing most of the problems on the homework. So when you get to the exam, those problems look familiar. They're not, a surprise to you. So on each homework section, make sure you get 90% grade. And if you get stuck, don't hesitate to come to me or go to tutoring. And we have 2 different tutoring options through Ames. We have the tutors who Ames hires, through our Learning Commons. So you have You can meet with them on Zoom, or you can meet with them on person if you want to go to Greeley's campus. Or we have Tutor Me, which is an online 24/7 tutoring service. So you can access that as AIM students. And you can get tutors, if you're working at 2 a.m. and you're like, I really need help with this problem, you can go to Tutor Me and get help. And I had several students use that service last semester, for college algebra and statistics, and they said they got really good help through them. So if you're, working at odd hours and you don't have access to AIMS tutors, go through Tutor Me. So just make sure you get that 90% on homework, and then remember the 90% on attendance also to be able to take your exams. These other assignments, it's going to be that Excel homework I was talking about, and we'll be doing that in class together. We'll see if we will do that as a homework assignment or if we're going to do that as a class activity. I haven't quite made up my mind here, but those kind of things are what would come under other assignments. Most of your 99.9% of your homework is what you see in my math lab. Okay. Your chapter exams, guys, you can actually use note cards, size 3x5, both sides of the note card. So if you need to bring notes when you're taking the exam, that's fine. Make sure you have a scientific or a graphing calculator with you, nothing on a tablet, and your 90% homework, 90% attendance grade. Now, what I do with chapter exams is, for any reason, if you're unable to take a chapter exam, maybe you didn't meet the attendance requirement, maybe you didn't get the homework completed, I don't do makeup exams, but I will drop your lowest chapter exam grade. So, we have, 6 chapter exams throughout this semester, and that does not include the final exam. So if you get a 0 on one of the exams, that 0 will be dropped and the other grades will stay. If for any reason you miss 2 chapter exams, then one of those zeros will be dropped, but the other one will stay. So this way, you don't, get a makeup exam, but you get to drop. And, if you took all 6 exams, again, whichever one is your lowest grade will still get dropped. So one of those lowest grades gets dropped, every other will stay. So obviously the idea is you do not want to miss a chapter exam, but if you miss one, you're still going to be okay. Don't miss more than one, basically. I've also put a note here saying that save all the note cards that you create for the different chapter exams. So that way you don't have to create a new one when you're coming to the final. You save them, and then you can use all of those 6 note cards on your final exam. And of course, if you wanted to update them by then, you can do that, but just that way you're not doing double the work. So you do have a comprehensive final exam, guys. What that means is everything from chapter 1 to chapter 7 is going to be on the final exam. So everything you do this semester is what you're going to be taking on the final. So same thing, same rules. You can use a note card, scientific or graphing calculator. You cannot use anything based off of a cell phone or a tablet or, anything like that. And the same 90% homework and 90% attendance requirement for that also. All of your exams are going to be password protected. And when you come to class on the day of the exam, I'll give you the password in class. And then, you guys can start taking it. You cannot take exams on Zoom, guys. So on the day of the exam, you do need to be in class in person. Okay, so no Zoom-based exams. Unless, again, we're in the spring semester, which means snow is our constant, friend, I guess. So if that happens and we don't have time to, navigate around that, then we may do a Zoom exam, but otherwise no Zoom exams. All exams will be in person on campus. Just your calculator policy again here, guys. The same dates I showed you in D2L. So again, these are tentative. If we need to move them around, we'll see how that works out. And then we have our academic honesty policy, which is something we have had to start putting into our syllabus starting this semester, because apparently this has been a concern for us. You know, a lot of students were turning in work that was not their own. They had borrowed from either other friends or online, or, you know, AI is the new thing out there. So this is something Ames takes very seriously. Any work you are submitting has to be your own, you know, anything you are doing for my class or other classes, you know. So make sure if you are using somebody else's work, you cite it, right? You use citation to say, this is where I got this information from, this is what I'm using. Even if you're paraphrasing it, it's still not your work, right? You're borrowing that idea from someone else. So make sure you are citing where you got the information from. You know, if there is something you need to get your instructor's approval for, get your instructor's approval, because if you're violating any of this student code of conduct, consequences can be severe. Failing the class is one thing, but, you know, you could be asked to, you know, not take that class again, or maybe even something severe as removing you from the institution. And I'd hate for anything like that to happen. So if you're struggling, or if you're not sure if this is considered as plagiarism or not, you know, go talk to your instructor, come to me, whoever you want to talk to, because you know, once it goes to the dean of students, then things are in their hand. It kind of goes beyond us as the instructor, and the dean has to decide to take action based on, you know, what the violation was. So be very careful about that. We've tried to list as many scenarios here as possible, so that can help you. You can see we're talking about plagiarism down here, collaboration. If a lot of times an assignment is supposed to be an individual assignment, then it of course means you're not working in pairs, you're not working in a group, right? You're supposed to be doing the work on your own. Now you can discuss it with your friends or colleagues, but at the end of the day, whatever work you're submitting, make sure it's your own work that you are submitting. So that's the new thing that we've added into our syllabus this semester. So I would strongly recommend you guys to read through that academic honesty part of things. And then just some helpful hints to help you out in the class. You know, come to class, guys. You have signed up for a face-to-face on campus course, so try to be there. If for whatever reason, you know, and I understand life happens, you are sick, car's not working, maybe a family member or a child is sick, you need to stay home, that's fine. Try to come on Zoom if you can. If you miss class completely, then at least try to find out what you missed and catch up on that, right? Do not fall behind. Oh my God. So my office is next to Professor Brian Seaman. He's our English professor on the Fort Lupton campus. And a lot of times I'd go and complain to him that my students are telling me they have an English paper to write for him, so they didn't do the math homework. And so this is kind of a constant thing between him and I. And I tell him, you're giving my students too much work because they're not doing math, they're doing English. So, you know, balance your time. Don't push off your homework till the last minute. Like, look at chapter 1. You have 6 sections from chapter 1 and 3 sections from chapter P. That's a total of 9 sections you are working on right now before you can take chapter 1 homework. You cannot get all of that done if you start the night before. Trust me, you will not get it done. So take each day, even if you're doing half an hour, 1 hour of work, that's that much work you're getting done, right? You're not having to do 9 sections at the same time. Break it up. Before you know it, February 1st is going to be here and we'll be ready to take our exam. Start working on chapter P, because we're not talking about chapter P in class. That is a prerequisite, or think as a practice section. Those are the skills you should have when you're taking a college algebra course. So start working on chapter P. Do a little bit every day. Get it out of the way, right? Ask questions. If something does not make sense, you don't know how to do it, ask questions. I may look scary and sound scary, guys, but my goal is to help you succeed in this course. So come to me, ask for help. Go to tutoring if you don't want to come to me, but, you know, ask for help. Participation is the best thing because it lets me know if you're understanding what we're doing in class or if you are completely lost. So if you give me a wrong answer, that gives me an idea of, okay, maybe I did not explain this in the right way. Maybe this is what we need to do, or find out where you went wrong so we can go and fix that, right? So that's kind of where the participation comes into place. Again, there is no makeup work, but at least find out what you missed so that you can make up for it by, looking at video lectures or going to your textbook. So that way, when we move forward, you are not lost of like, hey, what did I miss? We want to make sure we have good, camaraderie between all of you as students and me as the professor. So anytime you are upset or something has happened, come to me and talk to me about it. We can talk in person, via email, phone, Zoom, whatever you're comfortable with. Or if you're not comfortable talking to me, we can find somebody for you to talk to. But, getting angry or upset does not help you, does not help your classmates. We want to make sure we're all, behaving well towards each other, because again, I would hate to take action over something which could have been solved peacefully. Now, normally we do not want students eating or drinking in class, but we are a 1 hour, 40-minute class, guys. So if you want to bring beverages with you, water, soda, whatever you guys drink, that's fine. Most of the time, we're not going to be on computers unless you bring your own devices. So be mindful if you are bringing your own devices not to, get those wet. If you're on school computers, they definitely don't want you to have anything liquid around those, because again, the school doesn't want to mess around with damaged computers and stuff. So just be mindful if you are bringing any kind of liquid beverage to class. We are an afternoon class, so hopefully you guys will be fine, but try, not falling asleep in class. Normally, again, if we're in the classroom, keep your talking to a minimum. Only if you're having a group discussion or something, that's fine, but just amongst yourselves, we don't want to do that. I will dismiss you at the time our class gets out, which is at 3:55 p.m. So try not to, start wrapping your things up before. I will not keep you any longer than I need to. And again, just to reiterate, guys, any kind of academic dishonesty will not be tolerated in this class. So as tempting as that may be, just, come to me if you're not sure, ask me for help, but don't do anything that'll, unnecessarily get you in trouble. So that's just a quick look at our syllabus. Obviously, I didn't go into all the details, but I would say read through the syllabus at least once, so that way you understand all the policies. And if something doesn't make sense, I'll be here to answer any questions. But as I've gone over this, did anything come up in your mind that you'd like to ask me about? Sorry. Alrighty, so remember, this is the PDF version. You can download that if you like, or you also have the web page version here. I haven't actually done the listen option for this one, but you do have that if you wanted the program to read it out to you, but it's the same syllabus that's just based here as a web page. So you can look through that also. Alrighty, I think that was everything that we needed to go over. So let's take a 5-minute break. We still have almost half an hour left in class, so I would like to get started with chapter 1, but let's take a 5-minute break. If you guys want to do, a quick snack, drink run, restroom run, go do that, and we'll come back here at 3:30 and we'll start with chapter 1. Okay, guys? And I'll stay around if you have any questions.